And we're live for the first time in a while.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
It's been too long. Absolutely too long. So we'll wait for a few people to come in. I plastered it all over.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we're on Jay's YouTube, LAP YouTube, Jay's page, my page, LAP page. We are on, hi Jason, Merry Christmas. We're on Paranormal Mysteries page. I put it all over, but I can't put it
Oh
on
my
video.
goodness. That's okay. And you know what? And I'm on my phone, so I have to actually, if I want to read the chat, I have to click on it and then click back. So you guys I'm gonna look like a squirrel in traffic tonight.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
It's gonna be interesting.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas,
yeah.
Mark. Medee made it.
Hi,
Yay.
everybody. Merry Christmas. So,
You guys
how have you?
are on lockdown, right?
We're on, as of the 26th, we're on complete lockdown, which means you can only be with the people in your house.
Wow.
And like grocery stores are open, pharmacy,
Right.
gas stations. That's about it.
Wow. How long did they say?
28 days.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just hoping that this is kind of the start to the end. And by the spring, we'll be able to actually be back to normal somewhat.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
We need normalcy. So
Yeah.
you can still do Christmas, but it's the day after Christmas, which is your Boxing Day.
Yeah, they're urging everyone, even for Christmas Day, not to visit. Like, I'm doing a lot of driveway drop-offs.
Yeah.
And then virtual, like, I'm video chatting family so that we can open our gifts together.
Aw. Mark.
Oh, well, it is what it is.
Mark Ortiz says he was on lockdown at Kelly's Pub last night.
Oh, you know what? What a dick. Sorry.
And Mama D's on lockdown until January 11th.
Yeah.
Hi, Tina. Tina Marie's in
Merry
here.
Christmas, teen.
I'm so glad to see everybody. I've missed you guys. But I'll tell you what, part of it has been me with being sick. And I've not had the Rona. Actually, literally, and this sounds so weird, but literally going to work makes me sick. My building makes me sick. So we're trying to get to where I can work from home because I'm tired of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, because it's not just a
brain.
And you don't get just like a little cough, like you get sick, like pneumonia sick.
Yeah, I'm highly allergic to mold, and I work in an old building. Hi, John. I work in an old building, so when we found out in September that I was highly allergic to mold, we're like, okay, this is making sense now. I go to work for a week, 2 weeks, and then I start getting sick, and it hits me so fast. It's like overnight.
Yeah.
When it hits, it's really weird. But it's it's like the cough starts at night, and then I wake up the next morning, and I am coughing my head off, fever, heading into pneumonia that fast. It sucks. Ha ha, Jay. He says, I told y'all she's sick.
Sorry, that was kind of funny.
No. So I think this year we're even doing we're having Christmas with Jay's mom on Christmas Eve, which is normal for us. We go over there. We take all the food over. That way she doesn't have to do anything. And we're not even taking, like, years before, we've taken like a big, huge meal, cooked it here, taken it there. Everybody ate. Then we opened up presents. This year, we're just doing small snack stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, nobody needs anything, so no presents. Nobody literally
That's
needs anything.
awesome.
So we're just going to be together,
That's amazing.
which is going to be fantastic. Then Jay and I, when we come home Christmas Eve night, we're going to huddle up on the couch and watch Christmas movies. And then Christmas morning, we're going to do our stuff here. And then Jay says we better take Tina. Can you see it if I do this?
We
Can you
better
see the
take the
comment?
food.
Yep,
She
you can
burns
see
stuff.
his mom.
That's not nice.
But it's so
That's
true. I've told you the story about and I am the luckiest person in the world with my mother-in-law. My father-in-law, God rest his soul, was fantastic. I had the best in-laws. But we got married in July. And in February, for Jay's birthday, his mom says, "What do you want? I'll fix you something for dinner." He said, "I want your potato chip." Well, she calls them cream potatoes. And I had not had them. So it is colder than you know what outside, snowing. It is like in the teens. It's just bitter cold out. We literally pull up in the driveway. They've got a front door and a side door. Both doors are open. The windows are open in the house. Smoke is bellowing out. I'm not talking bellowing out. And I jump out of the car. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. He's like, oh, dinner's ready. I smack him and go running inside. His mom is literally bent over, picking the thing up out of the oven, says, "Oh, you kids are just in time. Dinner's ready." I'm like, what? What? She cooks her potatoes. They're more like cream potatoes, but she doesn't want to have to watch them on top of the stove. So she cooks them in the oven with the milk, and it boiled over. The next day, Dad had to go out and buy her a new stove. Because
oh my God.
it was so bad. The burner welded to the bottom of the pot when at one point in time when he was a kid, because she doesn't pay attention.
Oh my God.
So she doesn't cook very well.
That's crazy. I thought I was a bad cook.
Oh my gosh, when we have gatherings and get-togethers, Mom brings a vegetable tray and she makes a cheese ball.
There you go. She
Neither
can't
one
mess that up.
cook. So, and her cheese ball is really good. So, we're all okay with that.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Oh, but she's a mess. She's a hot mess. It's funny. Like I said, I'm the luckiest person in the world with my in-laws, but God love her, she just doesn't cook very well. Not at all. Jay said growing up, they were worried that the boys would not. Here it goes. She set off the smoke alarm so many times that they were worried.
Still sleep through them.
Now he still sleeps through it.
Get out.
No, that's very true. That is true story all the way through.
Now, I have a bad habit of setting off smoke alarms as well, so we just take the batteries out if we know I'm going to be cooking certain things like bacon. Like the smoke alarm. No, honest to God, we take the batteries out of the smoke alarm before I make bacon.
Oh, wow.
It's so bad.
Oh my God. Now, frying things, we've got the fan above the stove.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll turn that on. It's got to be pretty bad for our smoke alarms to go off with our stove.
So this is how bad it gets.
Uh-oh.
I've got the fan on the hood fan going.
Yeah.
There's also a fan that's on the ceiling, like that's built in. that I can turn on above the stove, as well as a ceiling fan that's maybe about 5 feet away in my like in where I've got my dining room table. We turn that on. And I still set off smoke alarms.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God I was married to a chef when the kids were little, or they'd have starved.
I'm gonna let you talk.
You know what, Jay? I don't burn Canadian bacon. I only burn regular bacon. Because Canadian bacon is delicious, and it's a pork loin, so you cook it up like little pork chops. They're delicious.
Do you cook it thin, or
I
do
do.
you spice them a little bit thicker?
Well, they're maybe about
You
half
cook
an
them like
inch
lunch
thick.
meat. No, okay. You don't like make it real thin like lunch meat or a piece of bacon thin.
No,
Okay.
no, a little bit thicker than that. Yeah.
Canadian bacon is just a myth.
A myth. No.
Ooh.
No, it's not. It's delicious. I don't know. Maybe they don't have it up in Quebec.
I don't know.
I don't know. I love pea meal bacon. It's delicious. But you guys, it's funny because there's so many places in the States that say Canadian bacon. They call ham Canadian bacon.
Yeah. And it's this
So,
it's little small round
yeah.
pieces. We put Canadian bacon on pizzas. You know, it's just weird. Just a difference.
It's it's a totally different taste. That's all. If Bob won't even go near it, he won't even sniff it. He wants he wants regular bacon. That's it. He's actually gone into restaurants with me and asked for American bacon.
Isn't it just called bacon up there?
That's what I said.
Okay.
God bless. I just want regular American bacon, and I looked at him. I'm like, nope, that's just bacon, just regular bacon. It's not American at all.
I find
bless him.
So amusing the differences in things between the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like your milk comes in bags.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it in a container.
Yep.
We grab ours from the container in the refrigerator, the hard container, and it's just everything. It's just a lot of things are really different.
Mm-hmm.
Mama D says they don't have pea meal bacon, or not there. Bacon poutine.
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
Jason here instigating a whole lot of stuff, Tina.
No, I know. I keep popping back and forth.
Yeah.
A toque. That's a different thing. Mama D explained it the best way I've ever seen anybody explain how to pronounce it the other day. The name Luke, but take off the L and add a T. Toque. I'm like, that's awesome. I never thought to explain it to people like that.
That's funny.
And you guys call it a toboggan or a beanie.
Or just your boggin, or but it's the same. It's funny. It's the same thing.
And a toboggan over here is a sled that you use for the winter.
And some of the people, I believe, in the northern states, like on the upper East Coast, I think they call them like a toboggan, a sled, or a toboggan, however you want to say it. Jay says that's all he's calling them now is toques.
That's right. It's fun to say.
It is. It is. Go get your toque on.
That's another thing I argued with Bob about because he didn't have one. And he said, I left my beanie at home. And I'm like, well, what the hell's a beanie? And he says, and he's like, it's like a ski cap. And I'm like, oh, so you're toque. He says, what the hell's that? No, I need a ski, like, a hat, a winter hat. I'm like, yeah, toque. He goes, why do you keep calling it that? Like, that's what we call it up here. So I argued with him until he let me buy him one because it was too cold. He needed one. But it was funny. Like, some of the stuff, God bless him. And he's originally from New York. So you would think, like, New York's a northern state.
Right.
It's right on the border, you would think.
But no.
Nope.
Have I talked to you since we went to the winery?
No.
Oh my gosh, a couple weeks ago, Jay and I were out driving and we decided we were going to go to a winery. We've never been. Mm-hmm. So I just Google wineries near me and we pick one and away we go. And we walk in. It's a cute little place. They're not in like full swing right now, mm-hmm. but they have wine tasting. And we're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So we get 5 or 6, I can't remember, samples for $10. And you get to keep the wine glass.
Nice.
So she has a list and you get to pick which ones you want. And we like the sweeter wines. I don't like them when you drink them and they're real harsh and they bite and they're real dry. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. So each of us get some, and she says, do you want to try our mulled wine? Mulled. I was like, oh, I never had mulled wine. So they had a blackberry and a cranberry. And they were so good. I mean, they were delicious. So I can't wait. I'm making mulled wine because we got their recipe. They had it setting out where you could make it yourself. We bought their wine and we're going to make the mulled wine for Christmas.
Nice.
So we're going to sit here Christmas Day, drink mulled wine until my niece and her boyfriend come over. And then we're going to play Cards Against Disney.
Oh my God. I love that game.
We've never played it. I just bought it. I sent it. We tried to get it for Thanksgiving. And it came from Florida or somewhere down south. And by the time it got to Cincinnati with Amazon, it was damaged and they sent it back. I never even saw it. So they refunded my money. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna order it again. And it says, oh, I can have it by Tuesday. I'm like, yeah. So yesterday I come home. There's the Amazon package with the game in it. It's still in the cellophane wrapper. We haven't opened it yet. We haven't looked at any of the cards yet or anything. I don't want to until we decide to play.
And make sure you're drunk.
Okay, we can do that.
And you will never look at Disney the same way again. Ever. I played with a couple of my girlfriends and we went through the entire deck. It took us 3.5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And we were just drinking and playing and drinking and it is just disturbing. But so funny.
Well, that should fit right up our alley then.
Yeah, you guys will like it.
Yeah. Who knows, we may even do a live on some of it. We'll see.
That'll be interesting.
My niece doesn't care to go live at all, so she's all for it. And I don't think her boyfriend would mind either, so we just may do that. Sit in there and do live. Never know. Never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So last night was kind of interesting here. My son, 21, was quite inebriated, drinking moonshine.
Ooh.
And his best friend, who might as well be my other son, Levi. Have you met Levi?
I've met Levi.
Okay. Levi brought him home because I heard him pull up, and this is like 11:30, and Levi goes, he comes in the door, no Hunter. He comes in the door, I get up, and he comes in the door, and he hands me these keys. He says, do not give these keys to Hunter. Because it was Hunter's truck keys. Levi was driving the truck. I'm like, okay, where's he at? He says, he's in the truck. We're trying to get him inside. I said, do you need me to go get his dad? I wasn't going to do it. Do you need me to go wake Jay up and do it? He goes, no. He says, Jay had his turn of taking care of his buddies. I got Hunter. I said, all right. So Levi was a little upset because when he was trying to get Hunter into the truck, somehow Levi had his hand in the door. Hunter was fall, and Hunter broke Levi's fingers.
Oh my God.
So it was Levi was a little mad. He goes, I wanted to hit him right in the face. I wanted to knock his ass out. He said, but I didn't. He was drunk. I know that. He says, but damn, it hurt. So I was like, do you need me to put ice on me? He goes, no. He says, I'm just going to drink a couple beers and go to bed. I'm going to sleep on your couch tonight. I'm like, all right, fine. So about 3:00, I hear the dog going nuts. And I'm like, oh, she's got to go outside and go potty. Because I hear her whimpering, whining, her little tail hitting the kennel. So I get up, and as I open up the bedroom door, Levi's here, and Hunter's walking up the hall, and I'm like, what's going on? I said, Hunter, are you letting Lucy out? Levi was going to the kitchen to get something to eat. I said, are you letting Lucy out? He goes, no, I wasn't planning on it. I said, let me rephrase that. Hunter, are you going to let the dog out? He goes, yes, Mama. He turns around and I didn't give him any choice. I said, no, I don't want to be woke up again. So when I got up at 5:30, 5:45, I made sure that I was a little extra loud so that I wasn't the only one that went without some sleep. That's mean. Oh, Mama D put up something. Wikipedia says a toboggan is a simple sled traditionally used by children. It's also called a traditional form of transport used by the Innu and Cree of northern Canada. Traditional toboggan is made of bound parallel wood slats, all bent backwards at the front to form a recumbent J shape. A thin rope. Oh, see, I did know that. I've seen toboggans, but and then a sled has the runners on it, right? It's a toboggan with runners, basically.
No, a toboggan's just straight up wood.
Okay, so then a sled is a toboggan with the runners that have you see the metal runners on them? Okay. That's our lesson for tonight.
Right?
Huh.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Yeah, it doesn't make anything about toboggan being a beanie or a toque.
Or a toque. A toque. See, it's fun to say.
It is. It's fun to say. I like that. Jay's back here going toque, 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 toque.
So I was talking with Margie in the last few days.
She about, popped in too.
Oh, there she is. Yes. And I said, we're going to start doing some outdoor exploration investigations once they open the border up for next summer. So hopefully she said she's leaving camp. She said she's been cooped up so long she'll leave in camp.
I have not. I don't think until we went and did that outdoor at that school up in
Higginsport.
No, not Higginsport. The one we just did where you couldn't go. That Dave set up.
Oh, yes.
When we did that school and we did the land outside, that was the first time I'd ever been outside on an investigation.
Really?
Yeah, I've always been inside buildings to do them. I've never Um,
Oh,
and it was really interesting.
the energy's different.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. It's
Mhm.
really, um, without trying to sound stupid, and I can't help it. It was earthy energy.
Yep, I know
Um,
exactly what you mean.
very grounding.
Like Jax and I just did a place that we've been investigating for years up here called Heritage Village.
Hmm.
And the grounds up there, um, sometimes you can get more activity just wandering the grounds of the village than you do inside the buildings.
Oh wow.
It's really interesting. We did the buildings, and I said when we can start traveling again, I'm gonna rent the village, like a couple houses in the village,
Oh,
and we can do the grounds at the same time. So
nice.
my cat
I'm
trying to knock a glass.
I'm waiting to see if they're ever going. And I don't mean to sound negative, if they ever open up the border, because I want to get my passport to come up there
Hmm.
desperately bad. So if I find out that we're going to be allowed to travel next year, this girl's getting right up to the post office. I'm getting my passport.
We better be allowed to travel next year. You're gonna see me go postal.
Yeah, that's not going to be pretty, is it?
No, I'll lose my mind.
I can't. I I keep saying it. We're just going to have to build that boat,
Yep. Margie
and
said the same thing. She's gonna build a raft.
yeah,
I need
yeah,
to go get her.
and we won't put any lights on it, and you can stand on the shore and do a flashlight off and on.
So you
Where
can
we gonna
find me. That's awesome.
I just can't. It's been a year since next week it'll be a year since I've seen you.
Yep. Yep. Because I think I came up or came down on the 27th. I think
Yeah, it was right.
26th or the 27th.
Well, you didn't
Yeah.
come down on Boxing Day,
No.
so probably the 27th or 28th, maybe.
Yeah. It was just I just got in the car and said I'm gonna go see Teresa today, and I text Jay on the way down.
Yeah, and I was. I said, Jay, somebody's here, because I had my knee surgery.
Mhm.
Somebody's here. Damn it, he's not even going to answer the damn door. So I got my walker and I'm going trying to get the door. And then I flipped out when I saw it was you, and I got so excited
Mhm.
because we visited, we went to dinner, we came home, visited a little bit more, and then you drove back. I was expecting you to
Mhm.
spend the night. You're like, no, I'm going back
No,
tonight.
no, I'll go back tonight. No.
But I was so happy to see you.
Yeah.
And think if you hadn't came down, it would have been even longer.
I hadn't seen you since when I came to visit in December. It had been since September,
Right.
and I thought that was a long wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just training us patience is what that was doing.
Because when we were doing everything with Paranormal Mysteries, we were together every other weekend.
I know.
So, you know, and that's what I was saying to Margie was I saw Margie the week before they shut the border.
Ah,
I actually had to go into quarantine because I had been to the States the week before they shut the border. And they said anyone that had traveled internationally had to go on quarantine. So
wow.
and it's funny because Mark Ortiz said he was at Kelly's. That's where we were at. I was with both the Marks and Margie, and we were at Kelly's having a drink.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So
Now there's
it's
been
just been,
I like my TikTok.
yes.
And I was watching, I sent Jay this little video today at lunch, I think it was, and this man was talking. Some of them are like 30 seconds long and some of them are a minute long. So he was talking during this
Mhm.
thing. And they're talking, he says, everybody's been talking about how all the military is on the move right now, and they're just rearranging people, and they've shut down this and they've shut down that, and they're saying that they're preparing for martial law,
Mm-hmm.
for Trump to do martial law. I think they said Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which day, but it was one or the other.
Wow.
So I'm just really hoping that that doesn't happen. But he was like, make sure you have plenty of food. You know,
Mm-hmm.
don't do anything stupid. Just be ready. It's not like he was telling people, you know, go out and get your guns and all. He was
Mm-hmm.
just like, make sure you have plenty of food. Just be prepared. Just be ready. I'm like,
But
all right.
it's funny because Bob was trying to pick up ammo for his son-in-law because they go to the gun range.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know it took him a month to find a box of ammo
That doesn't
because
surprise.
everywhere he went, it was sold out?
Yeah,
That's frightening.
they can't
As
keep ammo
a
in there.
Canadian, like that's frightening to me.
Well, you know, you think you've got all these people. They may have different different guns. You may have 10 different guns in your house, but you got to have ammo for all those guns.
Hmm.
That's a lot of ammo,
Yeah.
you know. And you got people. Okay, you know, stuff's going to start happening. I want to make sure that me and my family are protected, and I get that. I do. I get that. You know, it's you have to protect yourself. But if you don't screw around and you just do what you're supposed to,
Everything will be fine.
you know, yeah. I hope anyway.
Hmm.
Margie says, "Don't get me started."
Oh, don't get her started. Don't. Her and I had a good talk the other night, and she kind of filled me in on some stuff. So, sorry, excuse me. Excuse me.
You got the Rona.
No, no, I got the heartburn.
Is that why I burped a minute ago?
Might be,
Okay.
but anyway, hopefully we'll get back to, I mean, I was saying the other night that I can't believe how, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but I can't believe how homesick I am for the States. Like, I actually feel homesick not
Yeah.
being able to go over to the States because
Well, you
I got so used to it.
can, and it's not like it's unless you go down to see Bob or you know you travel further
Hmm.
south. It's not a big deal for you. You just pop
Nope.
across the river and there you are. You
Margie
know.
lives like half an hour away from me.
Yeah.
Jason lives an hour. Like,
Yeah. It's not. It's nothing for you to do that.
no, no.
And it kind of puts things in perspective on how much we take advantage of things.
Hmm.
You know, you being able to just pop across and come and see us.
I used to laugh. Margie's actually about 45 minutes away. I timed it the one day. I was doing something with Detroit Paranormal Expeditions, and I had to pick everybody up at Todd's house. And I timed it from the time I was at Todd's house to the time I got home. It was 45 minutes door to door. And that was going through customs. So it's not a bad drive at all.
That's not bad.
But
Margie said that's because you're homesick because you belong here.
yeah, but even going to the airport is about 45 minutes. Um, and so if I were to fly to Florida, I would just drive across the border to Detroit and fly from Detroit to Orlando.
Right.
Now, if I want to find a decent price for a flight without a whole lot of layovers, I have to drive 4 hours north to fly
North?
out of north. Yeah.
Okay.
So drive 4 hours north to Toronto and fly from Toronto to Orlando. The only other way I can do it is get on a plane in Windsor, which is like half an hour from my house. But I would take the plane from Windsor to Toronto and then take a plane from Toronto to Orlando, and that's assuming that there's no layovers anywhere in the States. This
Wow.
is how, so I've gone from like spending maybe about $120 on a plane ticket and being on a plane for 2.5 hours with like a 45-minute drive to the airport. So let's say maybe 3.5 hours total by the time all's said and done. 3.5 hours to fly to Florida, and I'm not even in Toronto in 3.5 hours.
Right.
Like,
Oh my God.
what a mess. What a mess. And it's like, I think if I were to fly from Windsor to Toronto and then Toronto to Orlando, it's like 7 hours.
Oh wow.
So it's like, yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So
Mm. Hi, Becky.
anyway, so because we're on lockdown, oh, I haven't seen Becky in a while. Hi, Becky, how you doing? Um, yeah, because I'm not, now we're on lockdown, so I won't be going to Florida anytime soon till we're out of this lockdown now. So by the time I see Bob, it'll be probably about a year. So
That's ridiculous.
yeah, it's
All because of the virus.
yeah,
And I know at work, I think starting next week, they are giving the vaccine because I
good.
work in healthcare.
Because you're in healthcare, yes.
I'm not getting it because I'm not frontline.
Yes.
So they're giving it to like all the ICU workers, the respiratory workers, the ER workers, which, and I agree with that. But to be honest, I'm kind of scared to take it.
I hear that from a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared to take it because they don't know what kind of long-term effects it's going to have. And with if something happens, say I get the vaccine and I have some kind of reaction and I die, they're not responsible.
Yep.
They have complete immunity, which is bullcrap. I don't get it.
Well, you wait and see if I grow like a third head or a second head or
Are
a
you taking
third eye.
the vaccine?
Yeah. And then if I'm okay, then you'll be safe.
Okay.
Because I
They were
don't care. I'll be a guinea pig. I don't care.
they were telling us in the email that we got because you had to take a survey, and one of the questions on the survey was, "Are you willing to take the vaccine?" Because it's not mandatory yet.
Hmm.
For us, even being in the office working through the hospital, it's the flu shot's mandatory. They come around to your desk and they give you the flu shot. If you don't have it, you cannot work.
Hmm.
Period. You'll lose your job.
Wow.
So they've not made this vaccine mandatory yet, but it was like, are you willing to take the vaccine? It was yes, no, or not at this time. So I put not at this time.
Then that's fair.
I'm not completely opposed to it. I'm just scared of it. And then everybody talks
Yeah.
about how bad the side effects are, the after effect. In the email, they said to take it on the day where you're going to be off the next day
Okay.
because the side effects, it makes you sick, makes you not feel well. the next day.
Well, yeah, because they put, like, when people don't realize a lot of these vaccines are, it's a dead strand of the virus.
Right.
So they're actually injecting you with the virus.
Mm-hmm. Well, like with the flu shots, it used to be really bad where people would get the flu from getting the shot. Well,
Yeah.
they quit that. So now they don't give a live virus in the shot anymore. So anybody that says nowadays that they got sick from the shot, there's like, not from the
That's the
shot.
last time I took a shot was probably about 15 years ago. And I got very sick, and I said I would never do it again.
Yeah. Now I get mine yearly now. I have for the last 13 years because it's
Mm-hmm.
mandatory for me. And I still get the flu.
Wow.
But the doctor, when I I went to see the doctor. This has been probably maybe 8, 9 years ago. Excuse me. I got sick. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
And went to the doctor, and he says, "Tracy, you've got the flu." And I got so insulted. I said, "I can't have the flu. I got the flu shot." And he said, "Honey," he's an old country doctor. He says, "Honey, just because you got this flu shot doesn't mean that you can't get the flu. It just means that
Mm-hmm.
it won't be as bad for you. Imagine how bad you're feeling now. If you didn't have the flu shot, imagine how it would be."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, wow." Because the year that my mother passed away, um, my dad, I actually had the full blown flu, first time in my life. And
Oh,
I always heard that if you ever had it, you'll know it. Because people
yes.
say, "Oh, I had the flu this weekend." No, if you have the actual flu, you think you're dying. You know?
Yeah.
um, I was upstairs quarantining myself because my mom, who had cancer and she was transitioning, um, she was downstairs. They lived with us. So if I came downstairs, like if whatever they fed me or I drank out of was a plastic cup or paper plate,
So
plastic
that you could
fork,
throw it away.
throw it away. When I came downstairs to go to the restroom, we had Lysol and we'd spray all the handles, the
Yep.
doorknobs, everything, light switches, everything. I was the only one that got it. But my
Mm-hmm.
dad hollers up at me. I'm quarantined upstairs. I hadn't showered in probably two days. Medusa hair going on, sick as hell. Dad hollers up at me. He says, "Sis, I hate to bother you, but can you come sit down here with your mom while I get dressed? Because I have to call the squad for her because of her breathing."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah." And this it's funny now. At the time, it wasn't, but now looking back on it, it was funny. The squad gets there. Dad's getting dressed. The squad pulls up. They come in the front door, and they just stop. And they look at me, and they look over at my mom, and they look at me, and they look over at my mom. Mom's sitting there, bald as a cue ball, oxygen on, and they don't know who they're there for. It was so bad.
That bad. That bad.
Oh wow! Becky said that she refuses the flu shots because it has caused paralysis in a couple of friends.
Yeah, I have heard that as well, that it can. But I don't know anybody personally. I've just heard.
Right. Yeah. Hi, Chantel. Megan's afraid to take the vaccine, but she says she'll be in her field. She'll be forced to if she wants to keep working.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
because she works with special needs,
okay. Yeah, they're gonna
and she works in a group home, so
they're gonna be. I'm sure that they're going to start transitioning. They're going to take care of all the frontline workers, like just for where I work,
yes.
because I know that they said that Kettering got 5,000 vaccines, and that's just a
Excuse
drop in the
me.
bucket because we have so many employees. So they were trying to figure out who was going to get them, how they were going to divvy it up. So that's when they came up with, we're just going to do the first time, we're just going to do the frontline ICU workers, COVID unit
Mm-hmm.
workers, respiratory therapists,
Yes.
Your nurses that take care of them, the ER, we're going to do that, which makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
No, I don't want it, but I'm thinking maybe if I wait enough time, they'll iron out the bugs in it before I have to have it.
They'll iron out the bugs.
Yeah, because
Good Lord.
that they have to iron out, something they have to fix, something they got to tweak. So I'm thinking, I just hope that they do it before I have to get the shot. They make it mandatory. I don't know. I don't know that I can. And they said it hurts. The flu shot doesn't hurt. It stings a little bit, but it's no big deal. And I don't like shots at all. I don't like needles.
No, me too.
But they said the flu shot, they're recommending that you take Tylenol or ibuprofen before you ever get it. You know how like you give your kids when you're getting their vaccines when they're little, you give them Tylenol before you go. They're recommending that you take Tylenol or ibuprofen before you get your vaccine.
Wow.
Because it's miserable for you. I'm like, you know what? Hard pass for me right now. I'm not feeling it. Is your heartburn getting better?
No. My heartburn's good. You know what? I might have to jump offline here because I'll be honest. I've got restless leg syndrome when my anxiety gets bad. Can you see me shifting constantly? Yeah. It is so bad right now, and I'm sitting in a recliner, so my leg won't stop shaking, and I'm trying to adjust it so it doesn't shake, so it doesn't affect the camera, and I'm a hot mess. I'll be so glad when I can just get my life back to normal.
Right. It's gonna happen.
It will.
The new year's gonna be better.
And I keep trying to just put as much positivity out there as I can, right? Because there's no sense dwelling. Like we talk about it, absolutely, but I'm not one of these, F you COVID people at all.
Well,
I think there were a lot of good lessons learned this year. We're all a lot more grateful for what we have.
yes.
We've learned to appreciate family and friends more than ever. Small things that I took for granted, I will never take for granted again.
Right. Right. It's been a learning year for everybody.
It's been a learning year, and that's the way we've all got to look at it, is just take whatever positivity you can from the lessons that we've learned this year, and let's project that forward, because then by doing that, it's going to make life a lot less miserable for everybody.
Well, you know what? I kind of look at it that I'm not going to worry about it and I can't fret about it, because if I think about it like that, it's going to drive me nuts. And there's nothing I can do about it. There is not a damn thing that Teresa Lynch can do about it.
That's right.
So I don't need to be getting myself worked up, getting all upset, thinking, because if you sit and you think, oh my God, I went to the store, what did I touch? What if somebody had the corona and they touched it? And now I'm really good about doing hand sanitizer when we come out, but I touch my keys before I do the hand sanitizer. And if you start thinking about that stuff, you will drive yourself absolutely insane.
Yep.
So I'm like, you know what? I can't think about it. We spray the cart off when we get there, wipe it down. We do the grocery shopping. We come out, we put the groceries in, we get in the car, start up, put the hand sanitizer on. At that point, I usually have extra in my hand. I put quite a bit in. Yep. And then I take my keys and I rub them, my steering wheel or the gear shift, if I've touched it. That's the best I can do.
That's exactly what public health tells you to do.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what she told me, to keep hand sanitizer in the door of the car, so that when I get back, before I touch anything in the car, put the hand sanitizer on, sanitize, like if you bring in just your debit card and your keys, sanitize those, sanitize your hands before you take your mask off. Take your mask off and put it somewhere safe.
Yep.
And that's that. And that's
Keep
the best you can do.
have a reusable mask, wash it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
just
sanitize before I go into a store because I don't know what I'm carrying that I could pass to somebody else. And
yeah,
then same with when I get out, I sanitize because I don't know what somebody else could be passing on to me.
absolutely.
That's just, and I caught it. Like I had it.
Yeah, and then I think
So,
buying fruits and vegetables, and you
mm-hmm.
see somebody pick them up, and they and they put it back down. They pick up another one. Like, stop it! Just don't.
Yep. It's
Don't.
hard.
Hi, Mr. Jeff Fent. Margie says she's going to bed or getting off
Yep.
here.
Good night, Margie.
Good night, Margie. Merry Christmas. And it's time for us to take off of here.
I think so. I miss you, Jeff.
I miss everybody, damn it. So, everybody have a Merry Christmas. We love you. Stay safe. Enjoy family while you can, for those that you can. And just have a good time. Make the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, good night
Well,
and
good
Merry
night.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.